Hey, it's Friday, October 2nd. Welcome aboard to this edition of Barnstable Today. I'm Kevin Friel.
Hey, it's Friday, and I'm Andrew Gobiel. Thank you very much for joining us.
We'd like to remind you right at the top that the meetings we cover are available on demand at the town's website, www.town.barnstable.ma.us.
A week from Tuesday is going to be that vote on the Stewart's Creek issue. As a matter of fact, there has been some discussion of this right now. Last evening, Thursday evening at the town council meeting, during public comment, some of the town councilors addressed some of the flyers that have been seen around town talking about this one specific issue.
I also would like to respond similar to my counselor from Barnstable in that I have had a discussion at the Yossville Business and Professional Association about the upcoming election on October 13th and have encouraged everyone to come. The better the turnout, the better the understanding is of the issue. The difficulty of October the 13th, though, is unlike a traditional situation where we may disagree on carving up everyone's income tax or everyone's real estate tax. This isn't about carving up anyone's real estate tax. This is about collecting 100% of the cost and then assigning it to people through the Betterments program. So there is no taxpayer money used from this regard once it's reclaimed. And that's a little misgiving that's out in the market by some pamphlets that are handed out without established names and by websites without established names. And I've never been embarrassed to tell you what I write and sign my name to it, so I'm a little disappointed with one of the speakers who wouldn't identify any of the authors of a particular website. So hopefully they'll have a chance to rethink that position. But I too would encourage everybody to come. And the purpose of having it on a standalone meeting is so that people get a chance to understand what's happening here. The magnitude of the effect is well over $2 million to the households if they don't get this money at this time. The magnitude of the effect of the tax is well in advance of that. So we've all studied it at great length. The public hasn't. And now we're not talking about tax money anymore. Now we have an unusual task of asking all our constituents to come forward, talk about this issue as a betterment, knowing full well that our tax money isn't even in it. So in a sense, everybody who comes to vote will be standing in the council's shoes, because this is something where it isn't your money we're talking about. We're talking about the right of people to pursue sewer in the future and to enjoy a one-time chance perhaps at some type of Obama money.
I love how you call that Obama money, the stimulus package. And I've got to look at that flyer myself today very quickly. And it concerns me because it says that the rest of the, can I just see that quickly? It says that that everybody in town is going to be receiving a betterment. The cost to you will be between $23,000 and $150,000. If you don't vote this down, then your home values will plummet and many Barnstable residents will lose their homes. This vote that we're taking on the 13th affects less than 200 households. This is a revote of something that we had taken up. The entire project, I believe, the first phase and the second phase is over 300 households, and this vote affects 200 households. I've had my own issues with the betterment issue, but I just want to be sure that when we're giving information, when you get information from people, ask questions. And like Councilor Crocker said, I'm concerned because we don't know who to go to for to correct these or to discuss this, because there's no names on these or on any of the signs.
Now, the town has held public hearings and, of course, a number of town council meetings on this one specific issue. Despite that, there is still some concern that there's not enough information about what the Stewart's Creek vote is going to mean. Councilor Greg Milne discusses a possible remedy to that situation. He also brought up the issue of unregulated political signage.
I would echo all of the other councilors that and it's all in relation to the public comment that was made about getting information, proper information out there to the voters. And I have one other additional question that has to do with ballot questions. And we've been down this road when we've had ballot questions dealing with the airport. And there have been instances, I know our head town clerk is not here this evening, our assistant clerk, Lucia Fulco, is here. But I know for a fact, in conversations with Linda Hutchenrider years back, there were instances where groups went out and raised money, or just somebody had money, and they put signs in the ground, they created flyers, they put ads in the paper, and their effort to influence voters on a ballot question was not registered in the clerk's office. You cannot, by law, have money on the ground in any shape or form influencing voters on a ballot question without that entity being known, and the entity needs to be mentioned at the bottom of the flyer. That's a state law. And the entity has to be mentioned with their treasurer on the signs. That's a state law. And the administration of that state law is through the local municipal clerk's office. So I want to be on the record here through you, Mr. President, to the manager and to the clerk's office. I want a full investigation done as to who the individuals are. There were other counselors that asked the same question. I echo that question. On the flyer, on the signs, is the entity registered? Do they have a green form like all of us have to fill out as candidates? There's a green form about the money. And where's the money coming from? This is all legally required. And if those legal requirements aren't fulfilled, if they have not been fulfilled, it's too late now because they already got the signs out there and they already got the pamphlets out there, then the public needs to be aware that there's an illegal effort to influence a ballot question. Thank you.
Councilor Milne is absolutely correct. This is an illegal, at this point, effort to sway a ballot question. There's been no campaign finance materials either requested or filed. And today we tried to see if we could garner who might be behind the signs and the leaflets, and now I understand there's also a website. I don't think we want to bring this before the Department of Campaign and Political Finance because they levy fines and so forth. I think we can handle this within the town.
Also discussed at the council last evening, the issue surrounding the proposed Hilton Garden Inn. You'll recall the attorney for the project's developer at the most recent town council meeting had not concluded his presentation after that very lengthy council meeting. The council voted not to continue the meeting that night and fully expected the developer to return to the next meeting, which was scheduled for Thursday night.
The hotel that we were to be discussing and voting on, we were going to discuss it this evening, and I think we were expecting to vote on it later on. I've seen a few things in the paper. I have to express my concern that so much was decided based on a polling of the council. I guess it's not in that case illegal to poll the council, but we hadn't gone through the public discussion process. The council didn't have a chance really to have a discussion about this. I took 3 pages of notes. I had been doing a lot of reading and a lot of preparing, and I was prepared to discuss this. There were issues that maybe we could have compromised on. There were some concerns about facts given out. There was concerns that no chain hotel has come to Barnstable, but we have the Holiday Inn, the Ramada, the Marriott, the Days Inn, the Radisson. The Sheraton's been here twice and sold property to local people because I don't know why. Maybe they couldn't last. But I really am concerned about the fact that so much discussion has centered around what the council was going to do based on body language and some polling. I think that's unfair, and I think that we really missed an opportunity to have a discussion about this. We keep talking about the economic effects that this hotel might have had for this area. This was not a regular Hilton. It wasn't a standard Hilton with conference rooms. This was not going to bring in conference traffic. There were little bits and pieces like that that I learned as I was reading all of this. So I think that there was an opportunity there for work and for jobs, but we as a council needed to discuss that and balance it with traffic. And we were being asked to do something special for somebody, and I think it's disappointing that we didn't have a chance to have that discussion. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm Kevin Friel.
And I'm Andrew Gobeil. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a great weekend.